Hello, this is Mark Smith with Family Tree Counseling Associates, and I'm here today to talk about the myth of relationship injustice. I get emails every week from people all across the world who ask me questions about various topics, and I'm not always able to address those adequately, but this particular fellow, I'm not going to say what country, but he's from Europe. He requested that I address the issue of injustice in relationships, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to read you his rather lengthy email from me, and I think it describes the pain of many people out there. I've gotten emails very similar to this, hundreds and hundreds of times. So, dear Mark, I plead for help. I am stuck in a situation that keeps bogging me, and I don't know how to handle. 14 months ago, I broke up with my girlfriend, which we had been together for several years. There was a lot of love on both sides, or as you would want to say it, there's more windows of heaven than windows of hell. So clearly this fellow is a listener and watcher of my videos, because he's using my language, definitely. She had a huge abandonment problem, and I had a big shame problem. Not a good combination, sort of scary, but we somehow managed to get along. Then at one point we both got extremely stressed in our jobs and life situations on both sides. One day she started acting strange and started accusing me of something unspoken. Things went worse by the day. 20 days later we were separated. I didn't even know what was wrong with her and why our relationship broke up until one day, about a month after our duel with the cans of gasoline and matches, which is also a Mark Smith metaphor. She responded in an email accusing me of cheating and gave me some clues. She played detective on me a little bit that was completely made up stories based on wrong facts. I have indeed met once with my ex for a short business meeting, and apparently that was the trigger, but at that time I didn't know anything was wrong. It took me about 6 months to understand what was happening inside her head. And now that I understand it, I'm not blaming her in any way. She did whatever she felt was the best thing according to her map of reality. Your videos have helped tremendously in helping me find a way to understand my situation. Thank you so very much. You are God's gift. I think our European friend is a little strong there, but maybe I am to him. As I said, we've never met again. She's never responded to my writing after that one email. But whenever she meets with a common friend, she keeps repeating how very pissed she is about my behavior and how I betrayed her. I've asked her to talk, but she never responds to any of my emails. 2 or 3 times I tried to call from a phone that she didn't know the number of, and she didn't respond to that either. My problem is that I'm having a problem forgetting her and leaving her behind. She did involve several of my friends and even my family members into thinking that I'm a betrayer. On the other hand, there was one lady, a very close friend of hers, that knew exactly what was going on, and on one occasion told her that she was wrong about me, and the consequences was that she excluded that woman from her friend list and never talked to her again. So now I'm having this issue of feeling injustice has happened to me, injustice that I cannot solve. I'm being accused of things I did not do. I have to defend myself against friends and family, and I feel if we talked somehow I could explain to her what really in fact had happened. Her rejection, not giving me a chance to talk, makes me feel even more injustice. And I feel that this injustice is keeping me tied to the past, yearning to somehow find a way to fix the past, rather than just go on and build a more solid relationship with some other woman. Can you please touch on the subject of injustice in one of your videos? You have all these topics covered: love, relationship, shame, abandonment, codependency, counterdependency, addictions, narcissism. Can you please make one of those injustice? Or give me a clue how to move on in such a situation. Thank you, and kind regards from Europe. I'm your great admirer, and I keep recommending your site and YouTube channel to all my friends. Best, we'll call him Frank. So, here's my response. There was not an injustice done here, Frank. We all pick exactly who we need to pick. And evidently, you needed to pick this woman. And she delivered exactly what you signed on for her to deliver. That's such a freeing concept. For years in my practice, I'm working with an adult, and they tell me the story of their dad left their mother many years ago when they were children for the secretary, for the neighbor, and the dad moved on with his life, but many times a woman, the mother in that situation, who didn't have much in the way of insight or understanding, actually stayed bitter, stayed in hate, stayed in rejection, and stayed in harshness, and 30 years later still hasn't forgiven and can't be in the same room with the guy. And some of these women never dated, never got remarried. They just camped on the sense of injustice. Another way to say injustice is to say victimized. So Frank, there is a playlist of my videos and family tree videos called Uprooting Victim Mentality. And that's is a separate playlist right on our YouTube channel. And there's a bunch of videos on there that debunk the myth that there actually is injustice in relationships. There is not. So Frank, what I know about you without knowing anything about you is that you were severely and ruthlessly abandoned as a child. I'm not guessing this, I know this for a fact, because you chose, of all women to put solely in charge of loving you, you pick a ruthless abandoner who's able to convict you without a trial and hang you and be done with you without you even presenting the evidence that you are in fact innocent. So pain is a gift. It really is. You always marry exactly the right person, and whatever they deliver, it's exactly what you signed on for. There are never, ever, ever any victims in marriage. So the purpose of love and marriage is to make you friggin' miserable. It's to tear down your psychological defense mechanisms so that Mother Nature can help you heal, and so that you can come sit in front of a therapist who can truly help you. So I've had people treat me from a distance. Somebody would say they screwed me over, but nobody's ever screwed me over. I had a relationship where a woman behaved ruthlessly and cruelly, and I have nothing but gratitude for her. And someday, if my books become famous and I make a lot of money, I might write her a check, because I owe her, because so much of what I've learned came from the ruthless abandonment in that relationship. So love is about knocking down walls, but once the walls are knocked down and you're bleeding on the carpet, it's about searching your soul and understanding who you are and where you came from and why you put this particular man, this particular woman, solely in charge of loving you. The more chemistry you have with somebody, the more you can be assured that they are an assassin and they're going to cut your gizzard out someday. So that is the true meaning of love. Mother Nature does want us to reenact our childhood so that we can work on having a voice with people like our parents. And that's how your love life is calibrated. Everybody's attraction picker, everyone's picker, is calibrated by their childhood wounds. So if you're brought up by a rager, you're only going to be attracted. You're either going to become a rager or you're going to be attracted to ragers. If you were brought up by a controller, you're either going to become a controller or you're only going to pick controllers. And if you were raised by ruthless, cruel abandoners, you're going to pick somebody like this woman that Frank picked. Frank sent me another email that I'll maybe address in another video. But there is no injustice in relationships. There's just opportunities to learn, opportunities to heal, and opportunities to grow, and it's all good. So I hope that helps, Frank. I'm sorry you're in so much pain, but it's about your childhood. It's not about this woman. So if you haven't joined our channel, do so, Family Tree Counseling. Visit our website, familytreecounseling.com. I have 6 books. One of them is on managing abandonment issues through recovery. He mentioned shame. One of them is called Healing Toxic Shame Through Recovery. We are the new Family Tree. We're fresh. We got a new director. I fired myself as director, put her in charge. I'm going to be doing more videos and writing more books. We got a lot of fresh energy here, a lot of fresh ideas, a lot of fresh staff. If you need a therapist, give us an email or a call or a text. And we have fees that range from mine, which is $175 for a 50-minute session, and I do Skype sessions with folks all across the world, down to I have a student who's really enthusiastic and good, and I train her and work with her closely, and it's just $30. And you know, there's a 65, there's an 85, there's 100, there's 115, 125. So thank you so much for watching the video today. Thank you for supporting our practice, and God bless.